I thought it was a good result, a great result. Anytime you can go away in this league and grab some points, it's a big positive for the group, for the staff, everybody's energy, and hopefully we can carry that into a little bit of a tougher task here away at Vancouver. It's always a tricky place to go. Turf, the travel is, it's one of the further places that we go. And they're also a really tricky team. They score goals for fun, and I think they're really clear on what they do. They get to the goal very quickly. They're vertical, whether it's service or direct play, and they're opportunistic. They've got a couple players that are very hot, and again, they're a handful. That's why they're in the spot they're in. So it's going to take a hell of an effort from our crew. We got through the game okay physically, and so we got to patch everybody up and see what we got to go against them.
All right, thanks for that. We'll start with Dustin.
Hey, Ben.
Hi, Dustin.
Hey, now that you can officially talk about Lawrence, what do you see him bringing to the team? Just kind of what role do you see him playing?
I guess I'd classify him as a winger and a guy that can help out mostly out wide. I think he'll be competing with Ibrahim out there, and we'll see if he can play some other spots for us as this goes. Can he play in the pockets? What does his defensive habits look like? And can he play on the right at times in certain moments? Great kid, a lot of pace, and I think he's he's easy on the eyes, and he's an entertainer. I think he's got tricks and his isolation ability is really good. He can drive by you with pace, just flat out pace, running in behind, but he also can break you down off the dribble, and that's something I think we've missed a little bit since Nelson's been gone. So just looking forward to getting him, into our environment more and getting him well versed in kind of his role and starting to build relationships with other players around him. And but I think he's going to be successful in this league.
And then just this week, big news that Tim Howard was added as an investor at the club. He did tell us he had a lot of dirt on him whenever we needed it, but
likewise.
I imagine, yeah. What was it like having a guy like Tim, that's been around the world, played at the highest levels, having him around?
It's wonderful. I've watched him, from his early days, and I was lucky enough to share the field with him a bunch of times, and in some big moments and some big events. Genuine, authentic. I think he's going to help us in a bunch of different ways as an organization. And I spoke to him on the phone. He's super, super excited about the project that Ted and Lyle and Pat are kind of building here. And there's no negatives. It's just a positive addition to our organization to bring, again, more eyeballs here, more experience, more knowledge, and I think it's a great thing.
Thanks, man.
All right, Jorge, go ahead.
Hey, Coach.
Great.
So now that you've got Enali and Ponce available for selection, does it create a headache when you're creating your starting 11?
Yeah, it does. And one of the worst parts of the job is not putting people on the field, particularly when some of them deserve it and they're playing well and they're training well and they're capable of having success on game day. But that's my job. There's a bunch of different elements to it, whether it's energy, whether it's form, whether it's results, experience. There's all different factors that play into who starts, but ultimately the one thing that will override all of that is how can we get a result? That's my job. Or what team do I feel or we feel as a staff can get the result. And again, sometimes that changes, but right now I think we're in good form. And again, we'll take a pulse of who we got and who's ready to go again, who needs to manage minutes, who's needs to come into the field. And yeah, we're still working on it even up until this point because of the quick turnaround. But yeah, it's not a lot of fun, and but it's also not a lot of fun not to have options, and to not have players that are looking at you on the bench that are of high quality and ready to roll. So this is a kind of a good problem to have.
Like you mentioned, good form, only one loss in the past 9 games. Vancouver undefeated in the last 6. How do you end tomorrow on a good note before being on a league-wide break?
Yeah, it's going to take a similar effort to what we put out against San Jose. We were dialed in. The moments mattered. We didn't give them a lot. High focus. Things happen very quickly in Vancouver because, again, how quickly they want to get to goal. Just going to protect our box and defend well there. Seconds is going to be important. And then, making sure we do offensively what we do and make sure we take care of the ball, take the open man, find the overloads, and then exploit them in the areas that we see that they or expose themselves. And it still comes down to moments, but they're hot. And they, as I said, they score for fun. They come at you very quickly, and there's the back and forth nature of some of their games. We can hopefully prevent some of that with making good decisions on the ball. So we'll see how the game plays out. But we took a lesson there last year from them. We took a whooping from them last year, and I think that's fresh in our mind. So hopefully we can we don't have that happen again.
Lastly, you speak about options on the bench. Now that the transfer window's open, is there a possibility that the team signs anybody else? Is there anything on your wish list?
No, I think we have what we need right now. If something else, some other opportunity comes along our way, certainly open to explore it. There's still plenty of time, and we will see if anything else comes through. We got a little room, but right now, we're happy with the group and our depth. Glad to add, a little an ollie out, as a kind of some help out wide, and obviously Ponce it's exciting to get his MLS career going, and looking forward to watching him.
Thank you, Coach. Best of luck tomorrow.
Thanks.
All right, Sam, go ahead.
Hi, Coach.
Hi, Sam.
My question is, I want to ask, MLS just released a modification in the roster construction, which they say to create flexibility for teams. I want to comment on it. How do you think that impact in the way the teams build their roster going forward, looking at the new modification from the MLS?
I'll have to read the fine print. Sam, I gotta. I don't deal a lot with that stuff on a day-to-day basis. We got a really good GM and sporting director, technical director that deal with all those rules. They know I'm not good at that stuff. It's too many numbers for me. So they boil it down. I'm sure maybe if you want to talk to them about it, I think they would be better to answer that question. I know enough about it that I think it's the intention is right, and I think the intention always with these tweaks is to grow the league and push the on-field product, push the money that we're putting into this, but making sure it's targeted and not just money for just to throw money in a pot, because sometimes that's not always spent wisely. Again, I don't spend that much time thinking about it, but there's a lot of people that do in the league and owners that are very sharp, And again, I'm lucky I have Fasher and Pat to kind of navigate a lot of that stuff.
All right, my second question is you made mention of the fact that Dynamo got moved in Vancouver last season, and that's still fresh at the back of the players' mind. With the recent grit in the team grinding out result, look at where they grind result at San Jose and other results that have been grinding out. How will that past result and the current team from that impact in players' selection and otherwise?
I think, well, I'll say this. I think players forget very quickly. I mean, coaches remember that stuff for a long time. Our away form, we're a better away team now than we were last year. Our home form needs to get cleaned up a little, but our away form has been sharp, and I think it's because of that focus that I've talked about and understanding the moments and being secure and being opportunistic on the other end. So that's what it's going to take. It's going to take a hell of an effort from us. It's always going to, it takes a group, a real collective effort to win on the road. And again, this is as hard a place to go as any, just because of the turf and the travel. It's in a dome. It's a little bit of a strange environment, but it's neat, and it's just another opportunity for us to continue somewhat of a good stretch here that we're on. But as much as we're on a good stretch, we understand the importance of each game right now, and we're not in the spot we want to be in. We don't want to be in 8th or 9th or 7th or whatever we're in at this point. We want to be up there, and the only way to do that is to just keep on picking up points. And the West right now, there's a lot of teams winning consistently and getting results. So we got to kind of keep up with the Joneses and keep going and pushing as much as possible right now.